Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Has it started?
No comments from the peanut gallery.
Oh, shucks. Well, what can I say? I can't fly with eagles because we're all surrounded by turkeys.
That's a good thing turkey can't fly, at least the domestic ones.
No, but I tell you what, they make some fine, good eating.
Well, there we are. Is the frequency in use? The answer is no. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? I was pretty sure there wasn't, but if there was, and there is, if you have a problem, you can contact us. No moving stuff up to the attic and no pushing the car down the road. But anything else, call 911 or call us. If you can't get 911, that would be hard to imagine, but it's possible. That may be broken at any time. For information on this net, you can see us right now on YouTube. It's either under my call, K4PEW, in the YouTube search block, or under, what else? Oh, under Brain Trusts, my channel name, BRAINTRUSTS, plural Brain Trusts, or Yahoo Groups, MJ_SS, or you can see us on the web, 146415.net, 146415.net, or last but not least, you can email me at k4pew@arrl.net. And on Yahoo Groups, I forgot to say it was MJ_SS. I might have said it, but I forgot. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. We've been doing it. This is our 499th event. This week we conducted that as we always do on 146.415 FM Simplex. Purpose of the net is to support and help ham radio operators get better, including me, and get better in our communication skills, get better in our how our shacks are outfitted and how well we operate them and those kind of things. And we've seen great improvements over the last 5 years. So we invite everyone to announce amateur radio events, activities, etc. that support the ham community and the community in general. Does anybody have any announcements? Fine business. Saturday is our breakfast. That's at Courtney's, which is a quarter mile south of Courtney's restaurant, a quarter mile south of Lebanon Road. To the locals, it's Lebanon, on the west side of Mount Juliet Road. Can't miss it. Well, you could miss it, but you really can't. I figure if you can operate a radio, you can find Courtney's. At any rate, that's at 8 o'clock. You can show up earlier. You can show up a little later, but we'll be there. And that's Courtney's in Mount Juliet for breakfast Saturday morning. Thursday, there's a net. That's tomorrow night. There's a net on the WC4AR repeater. That's their Aries information net. And that's on 147.105 with a plus offset and a tone of 156.7. Don't forget the Ham Quest on the 27th, and that's a week from, let's see, this is the 10th. Yeah, it's a week from Saturday. So a week from Saturday is Ham Quest. That's the 27th of July. Don't forget to be there. Huntsville's August 17th. I'm pretty sure it's in Huntsville. Pretty sure you can find it on the web. Then, of course, Cedars of Lebanon, that's August 24th. Make sure to don't fail to miss that one either. But no, it's Cedars always. It's been there for I don't know how many years. It's been probably longer. No, I don't know how many. Somebody tell me. Let's see. Does anybody questions on that? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I came up with a nice tagline for our net, which is entertaining scanner listeners for over 5 years. Well, for almost 5 years. It'll be over 5 years next week. Because, well, it entertains us too, but see, we're all visible. It's all those scanner listeners and lurkers and lollygaggers and sandbaggers who are just listening. Doesn't mean hams can't be scanner listeners either. Anyway, does anybody have any additions or questions to that list of wonderful announcements? Well, very good. Just want to reiterate, Saturday is the breakfast in case Eddie's listening. He's the one who's always interested in the breakfast. He's a chow hound, I think. All right, well, let's start taking check-ins in. We'll be from the west. Is tonight the west side? Please come in. You got a lot of static on there. You doing something different?
No, not a thing.
Well, there's a lot of frying bacon in your signal. I can hear you, but there's a lot of noise on it from just sounds like crackling, you know. So there's something going on between you and me.
Yeah, it might be the weather.
Well, it's either that or it's those damn Russian hackers again.
That's it. The Russians.
Oh yeah, man, they'd be jamming our signals, man. We're talking really high intelligent things.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna have to do something about that. That's the key we have.
Yeah, very good. I don't know how we can get back at them. They don't sell us anything, do they?
I don't think so. I think they just, I don't know. I think they just hack or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, hacking and jamming. That's them. All right, Rick, was a good signal in spite of that noise out there. We'll see how it goes with the other stations. On your out your way. That's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Rick in Ashland City. Good signal usually, and today is a little shabby, but I don't think that's his fault. Who else, unless he's frying bacon over there? Who else we got? West, please come in.
KM4YRS.
Yeah, yours is also the same, so we got something going on there, Michael.
I think propagation is just changing because earlier this afternoon I had a piece over with KM4 India Romeo Quebec in western Kentucky at like 99 miles as localized.
Oh, wow. See, yours actually got better the more you talk.
Well, I'm just getting that 700 warmed up.
That's right. Yeah, no, it actually did. It started to fade that static. So you're right. I think we got some issues going on. Electromagnetic radiation. I saw in one of the ham news things that said something about geomagnetic storms. So I'm guessing that might be part of it.
It sure could be.
All right, very good, Michael. That was Michael. He's in Belshire. Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, who was mobile with me. You're doing pretty good on mobile today.
Well, that's good to hear. I was having just a little signal problem every time I get the dip, when people drop out. But overall, pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. See, everybody now needs to buy that 96-inch 2-meter whip like I have.
You know what? I may buy one just for the heck of it.
Hey, they're only $65. It's not 200. It's not 397. Okay.
I got to order enough raccoons to put on that puppy.
Add a double on that. Who is that?
The comment was, if you buy one of those, there's not enough raccoon tails in Tennessee to put on it.
There may not be, but it is a big antenna. All right, very good, Michael. Good to have you in there. Who else? West, please come now. Is that you, Alan?
Echo Alpha Charlie, present.
Hey, very good. Not much of a present. Not a wrapped present. Are you wrapped, or is that wrapped too tight?
Just like Big Fat Man.
All righty then. Yeah, you sound good as always. When are you going to get up that used German antenna you've been bragging about?
As soon as I can muster up enough saliva and muscle tissue in the upper extremities, I hope to put it up. It wouldn't take much because everything is supported on a cast iron umbrella stand that's being decommissioned. That's what I use to support the pipe.
You told me you had an XY, you had a YL. Can't she do it for you?
BK, as a financial advisor with the Tennessee Titans at her bank, man, if she broke a toenail, she'd panic.
All right, yeah, I know the drill. My wife's not quite that bad, but I don't think so. I want her up on the roof putting up antenna.
Can we give it a shot? I'm ready.
I doubt it. She gets pretty beat up at work at the Postal Service. So I don't think she's going to want to do much for me, let alone you.
Yep. You know what Kenny Hughes and the Postal Service got in common?
No.
They both got over 1,000 person.
You got 1,000 what?
Dark loafers. That's a nice way to put it.
Oh, man. Boy, oh boy. All right. We'll let that go. It is. That's Alan, Whiskey 4, Echo, Alpha, Oscar. He is in Donaldson. And, I should have a bleep on here, actually. Who else we got? West, please come in.
Oscar.
What did I say?
Well, I thought I got an Academy Award. You said Oscar.
And I messed up your call then. What is it correctly? Because I just got it written down wrong. Now I can't think of your correct call.
He won an Oscar. Thank you. I'd like to thank my mother, my father, thanks you, my sister, thanks you, and what's his name said, James Cagney.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was Charlie on the end. I'm so used to hearing you, but I don't pay any attention sometimes. Well, very good. Sorry about that. That's Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie. And that's Alan and Donaldson. Sorry about that, Alan. I should know better than that. But a little brain freeze now and again at my age is, I hope it's accommodated. Who else we got? The West, please come down. Yeah, we're really having trouble today. I presume you can hear me okay, but your signal is really being disturbed by something in the atmosphere. And like I said, I presume it's that geomagnetic storm. Are you hearing me okay, Mary? Okay, well, you're coming in a little better now. How are you doing? I didn't hear from you. Let's see, the last night I think you must have been out to dinner or something.
Yeah, we did. We always do when we're not here in the morning, and we want to hear from somebody like you down there. I didn't hear nothing during the game.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of that. Who were you talking about? I missed that.
I was just saying we miss being on here when we're not able to be here. But I said, if any of you ladies are listening out there, we want to hear some of you too.
Oh yeah, we like hearing from everybody, and yeah, sometimes I don't, in the heat of doing the net, I don't know who's missing, and I think about it later and said, hey, I didn't hear from Mary and Marty, or I didn't hear from Donnie and in South Mount Juliet here. I don't think about it till later, but yeah, you are missed, believe me.
Well, I don't know what the service is like, but like you could hear it and just hear from all of you. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Marty and let him throw out his call sign here, and hope you all have a good rest of the week. K4OE.
Yeah, very good. How you doing, Marty?
84 BUK.
Very good. Did you go out? Did you go out today in the yard? Because it was hot.
Yes, it was very hot.
I had 96 on my. Now get this: when I went out after lunch, I made the mistake of going out and doing a little bit of work. And when I came back in, I said, "Man, it's hot out there." And I looked at my digital thermometer that's on the front porch. It's in the shade, which is on the east side of the house. So the sun was already on the west side, and it was 96.4, I believe.
Yeah, it was way up, and it was.
I know, it's sickening. It's so hot. Well, gives me another excuse not to work in the yard.
Okay. I don't know what the dog was doing.
I think she was agreeing with me.
I feel your pain.
Well, very good, Marty. Good to have you in there. Yeah, stay inside if it's like this again tomorrow. It's not worth going out and taking the abuse from the sun. And that's Mary and Marty, Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, and Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo, both in Belchar. Good to have you both in there. Glad you're back. Who else we got? West, please come in.
You double with it for a second there, Paul. KG4 CXE from the west.
Ah, very good, Chris. I'm sorry. Did I miss something, Marty?
Oh yes. We had some helicopters that flew over the house, and that makes the dog one barking.
Ah, barking at the dog. All right, very good. Yeah, my dogs will bark at anything, really. It's annoying. But anyway, they're good watchdogs. Unless the burglars got beef. That's always a deal breaker. But very good. Christian, are you? Yeah, you're west.
It's kind of north, kind of west, but pretty much to the west. Yep. How are you doing tonight?
Very good. And your call is, I'm going to get this right. It's KG4 Charlie X-ray Echo. Is that correct?
Yep. You had me thinking about it. Yeah, it's CXE Charlie X-ray Echo.
Yeah, very good. How you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Just unwinding just a little bit, trying to get back in the swing of work. Honestly, I had a few days off, and now I can't get back into it.
I used to say if you gave me a week off, I needed directions on how to get back to the office.
Yeah, it's crazy, that I would be disconnected that much, but that's a good vacation if you get that disconnected, right?
I guess I used to hate to take vacations because I was in sales and project management. So whenever I took off, I couldn't get anything done. I couldn't sell anything on vacation. and that's what my livelihood was. So I always felt kind of unrelaxed on vacations. I got used to it, but after 35 or 40 years, but it's just a pain to take off when you know you could be doing something making money.
Yeah, the sales time I've got to be at it. You're absolutely right. Mine is a little bit more laid back. The work was waiting for me, so I just dove right back in, but hard to get back on the horse.
But as long as they don't stack it up waiting for you.
It happens sometimes. That's, par for the course.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, there's always, you come back and you realize people are doing things differently than you did, and you go, why were they doing that? Anyway, good to have you in there, Chris. That's Chris. He's in Donaldson. That is north part of Donaldson, isn't it?
Yep, sure enough.
Yeah, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Great signal there. You're using that window antenna still?
Yeah, I moved it to a little bit further away. I felt like I was probably radiating myself plenty with this 50 watts, so maybe sounding better now.
You can avoid that. What you do is you take a long ground strap, connect it to a bucket, and then put the bucket over your head while you're transmitting.
That's very smart, actually. The aluminum hat helps too, right?
Oh, yeah. Or you can wrap your head in aluminum foil, one of the two.
Hey, Chris, that'll work.
All right. Very good, Chris. I correct myself. That was, anyway, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo, and he's in Donaldson. He's doing a real good signal to me, and he's in a second floor, I believe, kind of second floor situation where he doesn't have an outside antenna, but it's near some kind of a window. Anyway, who else we got? West, please come in.
K4IDC mobile.
Hey, Robin, you're mobile. Where are you mobile?
Hermitage.
Hermitage. Well, very good. You coming back from work, are you?
I had a meeting at church tonight, so on my way home.
Oh, you're that part of Hermitage. Coming back down Lebanon Road, maybe?
Lebanon Road, Andrew Jackson, vicinity.
I got you. Everything going all right for you in this terrible heat? You got your air conditioning? Hey, by the way, I'm blaming you. You told me yesterday about your air conditioning in your truck not, needing a refill due to some leak. And what happens? My wife comes home. Hey, the air conditioning's not working in my car.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I got her fixed today, and we're doing fine. I think mine's got a tiny leak too, but I think I'm going to feed the leak unless it's a really big one.
That's what I've been doing in my truck for quite a long while.
Well, you can have, just like I learned this from one of the bottling people I met over the years ago. They're pointing out that even in like beer bottles and Coke bottles and things like that, even cans, cans of soda, cans of beer, those actually have a published leak rate of, it could be 0.1, pounds or, per year.
No, I didn't know that was actually published information.
Well, I think it's an average number because there's some things just can't be sealed forever. They just can't be. It's gonna. Well, things deteriorate. That's why.
Interesting. Fun to know.
Well, it's not a big deal. So I'm a cornucopia for useless information. You should know that by now.
And you and my mother-in-law.
Oh man, those are fighting words, man. I'm equal to a mother-in-law.
Hey, Robin. Well, just in that one category. Although I think you probably got a beat. Hey, Robin. Yeah. Can you imagine him in stilettos and fishnet hoods? It was supposed to be a family-friendly net. No.
Hey, listen. If you want me to come over and like critique your behavior, then I can act like your mother-in-law.
I've got a crop whip here somewhere.
Well, very good, Robin. Glad you're doing all right. We were working at Voodoo on my air conditioning, but that was Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie. He's mobile, coming east toward Mount Juliet, I believe. Yeah, that'd be right, east. And he's normally about 6 miles south of me here. They're off of Mount Juliet Road near the Percy Priest Lake, but he's doing good mobile tonight. Is that on your 857 you got in the truck?
Yes and no. Yes, 857. I'm in the car this evening.
Okay, very good. Yep. The only thing that's wrong with an 857, it's the same thing wrong with the 897. 20 watts on the useless 70 centimeter bin.
That and the LCD display goes nuts.
Well, we don't want to talk about that. I've got mine starting to look like a piano.
Missing a few keys.
That's what it looks like.
I saw a post on the 857 Yahoo reflector from a guy who repairs these things, and it is his opinion, strongly held, that all the display issues he's repaired have been from radios that are used in the humid and hot southeastern U.S.
Oh, wow. I'm not surprised. You know, when I had that radio in my car when I lived up in the Canadian border, and of course I left the radio in the car. But when you first got out of the car in the morning when it was 10 degrees outside, you couldn't see the display because it was the LCD just doesn't work.
It's kind of temperature sensitive. Yeah. So, I'll replace it when it dies, or maybe the radio will hang before then.
Yes, very good. What's up? And you got more comments tonight there, Alan.
I think what Rob is trying to hit, he's got some timeshare property over in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah, well, it's 91 in Anchorage now. That's what I heard today anyway. All right, very good, Robin, K4IDC, and with a Butinsky there with Alan from Donaldson, and that's who else we got west? Nobody. Let's go south then. South to Mount Juliet, please come now. South to 40.
The 4 EBX.
Hey, you didn't remember the breakfast, Eddie, is Saturday, right?
Oh, it's this week?
Yes, it's this week. You can go every week if you want to, but this week we're going to be there with bells on.
I wondered where everybody was last Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. But you didn't care, though, did you?
No, I just drank my coffee and kept it to myself.
No, we'll all be there. Maybe a big crowd because we're going to have to get ready for that number 500 net on Saturday night.
Oh, that's right. Man, that's going to be a major thing.
Maybe we'll have to be like this will be the Mount Juliet 500, and similar to the Indianapolis, and we're going to have to do it really fast.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Did we not count the one the week you were gone?
No, we counted those.
Well, then my calculation says this is number 500.
Well, I was gone the last Saturday in right after Thanksgiving, and then I missed the next 2 or 3. After that in December.
I concur. Okay, just a second.
No, I don't know. All I did was count up the number of Saturdays and Wednesdays between September, whatever that date was, and like now. Oh, look again. Maybe it's a false celebration or a late one.
Don't forget there's 52 weeks of the year unless you include leap year.
No, we got it. But it doesn't matter. Let's just say it's the approximate 500th anniversary.
That works for me. Back to that.
We're not looking for precision here unless you're talking about frequencies. Well, very good, Eddie. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and everybody else who'd like to show up. We always have a good time. We solve all the world's problems in less than 2 hours. And that was Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray, and he's over in what do you call that area again?
Gladeville.
Oh yeah, Gladeville. I've never been. I told you, I've never been that far down the road. If you can imagine, down that road from Mount Juliet, never. And it's just funny. I got to go by there one of these days.
Yeah, you don't know what you're missing.
No, it looks like a nice area, nice little town. It's got the school, and I see a bank on the Google Maps, and it's got a nice area.
Well, you need to get out more. You're depriving yourself.
Oh, I know it. I used to pride myself when I lived in Florida because it was hardly a street or a back alley I didn't know, at least on the west coast of Florida and parts of the other state. But here I'm like a shut-in, I need somebody to come over and lead me by the hand to go out. I've got, what do they call that? Is that agoraphobia? Is that the right one? Anyway, we'll move on. Eddie, good to have you in there. He's in Gladeville, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. Who else south, please come in?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Well, very good, Larry. And were you listening from the start?
Yeah.
Did you hear any of that crazy noise that was on a few of those early signals?
Oh, I just couldn't hear some of them.
Ah, okay. Very good. Well, you got a good signal tonight. You must really have some big lawn mowing to do because with this weather we've been having.
Oh, yeah, been after it, man. Been spraying that using some of that liquid weed eater.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, spraying, killing bushes and spraying on fence rows and all that.
Which product do you use, if you mind me asking?
I don't know it. I got down there at Tractor Supply.
Okay. Okay. Is it Orthos or is it their brand or some other brand?
Some other brand. I just can't remember what they called it.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just curious. My wife hates me to use chemicals for fear it's going to hurt the dogs. And she has fits about it every time I go out there and even put down fertilizer.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
All right, very good. That's Larry, and he's in Rockville. It's Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Great signal as always. Who else is what? South, please come in.
Kilo India 4 November, Delta November.
Hello, David. What's up with you, man?
Oh, I'm kind of like Larry. Been cutting again, about once a week in a 3-day job. But I don't use the spray. Though. We got too many bees and butterflies and all that stuff around.
Yeah, no, I understand. I try to avoid using chemicals unless for some reason I absolutely have to. I don't want to hurt anything. Well, even skeeters and gnats have a purpose in life, like it's called feeding the birds.
Yeah, and feeding on humans too. I know nature's got a way to take care of things, but I'm kind of concerned about bees. I'm a beekeeper, and not shaming Larry, not at all, but it's a problem for our bees.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Well, they're very sensitive, obviously, and that's you have a. Let me see if I get the term right. Is that an apiary you have?
That is correct. Yes, registered with the state of Tennessee.
Awesome. How many hives do you have?
One trained hive.
What? They won't leave?
No, the attack hive. Go get them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, another ham. I think his name is Murph. He's over in East Wilson. You know what I'm talking about? And he's a beekeeper.
Yeah, I remember him called W4BED, I think.
That's so. Anyway, he lent one of the guys on the net, Michael, over here he's over in East of Mount Juliet a little ways. He not lent, he set one of the hives over there, and he says Michael was sitting in the backyard and he saw the whole swarm pick up and take off and go to the woods and didn't come back.
Oh, I have seen it. That's heartbreaking. I've seen it a couple of times. But anyway, that it's not too late to hear to see those.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know they would do that. I figured they'd be happy in the hive. Well, very good, David. Your signal's good. Although there was some disturbance there that didn't sound like you generated it. While you were talking, it was like there was somebody was crackling, some kind of stiff paper on your microphone. But I think it was. I really do think it was something to do with the geomagnetic storm.
Okay, it could be, and maybe stretching this mic too much. Well, good evening, Paul. Appreciate what you do, sir. 7-3. Everybody on that K out Wednesday.
Yeah, very good. That was David, Kilo India 4 November, Delta November, and he is in, let's see, Reedyville. That's where he is. I had to go through my Rolodex of names in my brain. Who else we got? South, please come in.
KM4 DVA.
Hey, how you doing, Dan? You doing okay? Now, you're not going out in that hot weather, are you?
I had to go out to do some things, get my hair cut, but it was, from air conditioner to air conditioner, so I made it that way.
Well, I just went out about an hour ago, and it's actually nice out now. I mean, compared to what it was this afternoon.
Yeah, while I'm sitting in the garage over here, it's pretty warm. And sitting here listening to all the hilarity going on the net tonight.
Yes, well, we try to keep it light and above the board, so it's fun, I hope.
Yeah, and it was enjoyable listening. And I have to tell you again that interference is from the Russian vortex. I'm telling you, and you have to believe me.
Oh, I'm sure it is. As I said, my excuse is always Russian hackers, and I don't know how they do it all the time, but I think they do.
Yeah, the other thing is if you don't use enough chemicals, how are you going to get in on any of those lawsuits?
Yeah, I know. My wife asked me, have you ever used that, that DuPont? Is it DuPont? No. The one that's, oh, shoot. I forgot the name of it already.
Talk about Roundup?
Yeah, Roundup. I said, I lied and told her no.
Yeah, I used that. I've used all kind of things. I found out that most weeks just drink it up and come back later.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like I explained to her, but it doesn't go very far, and it's also true of anybody that's not used to dealing with chemicals. Not that I'm a great chemical expert, but I had to deal with a lot of different chemicals when we worked at a hospital and had a shop, and we had a lot of cleaning and environmental chemicals and taking care of the lawn and taking care of cooling towers and all kinds of crazy stuff. And you begin to realize that all chemicals are inherently, well, most chemicals, let me qualify that, can be dangerous to humans if they're not, or in anything, if they're not used properly, and that's why you got to pay attention.
In my earlier days of machining, we used to wash up with solvent.
Why don't you just use methyl ethyl ketone?
We didn't have that.
That, don't ever, by the way, I did that by mistake. I was getting some paint off my hands, and I said, I'll grab some of this and rub that. Wasn't so bad on the palms of my hand, but on the back of my hand, it was like my hands were on fire.
Oh yeah, there's some bad stuff out there.
Man, I went in and washed my hands vigorously for about 10 minutes to get that burning sensation of that chemical. Anyway, good to have you in there, Dan. Kilo Mike 4, Victor Alpha in his garage on his base unit with a great signal. Who else we got? South, please come in.
Hey, Paul.
You.
You just named General Motors' next car, Geomagnetic Storm. It comfortably holds 4 people for tree huggers and sandbaggers.
I'm telling you. What did you take uppers this morning or something?
I took my Geritol.
I think you're feeling your oats, man, after all that crazy medical stuff you went through. All right, let's move on. Who else we got south? Anybody else? Anybody else? South of 41 or 41. So 41's a north-south, right? It's kind of hard to be south of 41 unless you're down at the very end of Florida, down there in Naples, wherever it is. Let's see, it's south of 40 is what I'm saying. All right, we're going over to the east then. Who's east? I got KE4TW. I don't know if somebody doubled. Are you hearing any of that nasty noise in there, Wes? Yeah, because right now you are, aside from when I can't hear you at all due to bad conditions, this is the noisiest I think I've ever heard you. It's just all kinds of noise. You're almost equal to the noise right now. Wow, you ought to jump onto the net and look at 32 minutes into the hour and see what you sounded like, man, because it was horrible. Anyway, glad you checked in, Wes. It still got out, and I could copy some of what you said, or most, probably 75%, but you can see there's something going on in the atmosphere. Very good. That was Wes, and he's down near Watertown, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey, India. Who else south? Or west? East. I'll get it straight. East.
WA4ZHI. Bravo.
You lost again, Richard. What's up there, James?
I don't know how I do that. That's awful, isn't it?
You probably got one of them modified. You know how when they used to say that some people would file down the mechanisms on a pistol, so it was a quick. Now you did that with your push to talk button.
He's cheating. I'm not cheating.
Well, it's kind of hard to cheat on a push to talk button.
I don't know that much about it.
There's nothing to know. It's just a little micro switch, or sometimes just a reed switch in there. It's not like it's a big mystery, but no, you just must have a quick finger. That's all. Well, you beat out Rich, or maybe he's just slow.
Well, he worked hard all his life. He's kind of worn out.
Well, you trying to say you didn't work hard out there in the western end of the state?
Oh, about that. I'm talking about when he was a fireman.
Okay. Well, he worked pretty hard. You're right. Oh, very good. You doing all right, James?
That's all right.
Yeah. Just be glad you don't have to mow your lawn.
Like I said, I get a guy to do it.
I know. That's what I mean. I used to have that done when I worked for a living, and I didn't really have the time or the inclination to do that because I worked some long days. And so I just paid somebody to do it. It's a whole lot easier.
Yeah, before I moved here, I did it myself back in Memphis.
Did you have a big property out there?
No, I didn't have a big property. I had about a quarter acre there, and about a quarter acre here.
Okay, well, not too bad. So you could use a push mower, a freestanding mower then.
Yeah.
All right, very good, James. Good to have you in there. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India is right here in Mount Juliet, just a little bit east of the library, but you can't get there from the library if you're trying to go east. Who else? West. That's right. I had Richard in there.
Can you hear me now? KI4SIB.
Hey, Richard, you doing all right?
I'm tired. My back hurts. I'm sick. Been that way since Saturday. I'm getting better, but I'm a long way from being 100%. But I want to try and get healthy enough to be at breakfast Saturday morning.
I hope so, man. Your wife told me, man. She said he's hell when he's well, but he stays sick so much.
I know it. I must be getting older. Not doing me any favors.
No, it's not for the weak, man. Getting older.
Got that right. I was talking to a group up in Knoxville a few minutes ago, and I told them about this net, and I think there's a group of them that are actually going to try and swing some Yankees or beams or something in this direction at some point, and may try and get into this thing.
Oh, that'd be great. I don't know if you kept it. Well, you were on the net Tuesday night up there to Bowling Green, north of Bowling Green. I heard you check in. They had 20 or 22 check-ins, something like that.
Yeah, that was a good net. I'm glad that happened. I really am. I'm able to hit the repeater in Crossville that is linked to 3 other repeaters in and around East Tennessee. And I got a buddy that lives in Knoxville, and we can talk direct, well, as direct as a repeater is. And we're having a ball with that.
I got you. I didn't hear all that because as soon as I went deaf after the first repeater word.
I understand.
No, I heard it all. Yeah, if somebody can hit us from Knoxville, man, they're going to have to be up at 1,000 feet, I think, because Memphis. You say Knoxville? They want us from Knoxville or Memphis? Which one did you say?
Knoxville. And one of the guys is a little bit west of Crossville. And he's one of the guys that's got a very tall, I think he said 1,900 feet, but I'm not going to promise that because I probably misunderstood what he said. But his name is John. I can't remember his call. But I told him about the net and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. No. Great. If they can get us from Knoxville, that'd be great. And they may have a good elevation with a tower. Already and with a tower because Monterey is much higher than we are. I want to say it's close to 1,000 feet, maybe.
Something wrong with that, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to see what would happen. I'd love to have more people check in from a ways away, but I think it's going to take conditions or moon bounce or something.
I think the atmosphere is going to have to be smiling on us to get it done, but it would be interesting to let that happen. I'd like to see that happen, in fact.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. All right, very good. That was Richard. He's over there just west of Lebanon, a mile or so, up there towards Lebanon Road. It's Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo. Who else? And good. I'm glad you're in there, Richard. Who else we got east? Please come in. All right, Earl. How are you? Are you hearing anybody? Are you hearing everybody well? Let me put it that way.
Well, I haven't been in here very long, I'll be honest. I was just about 10, 15 minutes. So a little bit late. I just got off the old racetrack out there with the Blades engaged doing the old real Wilson County lawnmower race event that I still haven't found no participators on that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Couldn't get anybody to weed whack my lawn today either. By the way, your signal, you got a good audio tonight in spite of what seems to be crummy conditions. Just like earlier, I think I talked to you earlier today, and your signal was kind of, remember we said it was kind of down in the dumps.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's still like that still yet this evening.
No, it's actually better. Your signal strength is pretty low, but your audio is coming in nice and loud and very readable, although there is some noise on it, but that's not unusual. I was just wondering if you heard some of that noise that I was hearing from some of those other stations.
Yeah, let's see, the only one that I had a difficult time, almost no time at all hearing was that about 2 or 3 changes ago.
All right. Yeah, if you will, in fact, if you go in there and look about 40 minutes into the net and listen to yourself on the web, on the YouTube thing, you'll hear some of that noise because right in the midst of what you just said, it's like somebody started I don't know, some kind of weird hum in there for no apparent reason other than I've never heard that on your signal before. So I think there's something going on in the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like that other person said. It's the Russian invaders or hackers or lollygaggers or swamp monsters.
I think you're right. Well, very good. That was Earl. Kilo Charlie 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Good to have you in there, and I'm glad your signal. Your audio is holding up very well, even with a low signal. There's a lot of bumpy real estate between you and me. Who else do we have? East, please come in.
Ain't no Charlie in my call sign.
So it's just Kilo 4, isn't it? No, it's Kilo Echo 4. What am I talking about?
I don't know. You must have Charlie on your mind.
Apparently I do.
In the second language.
It is Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, is it not?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, I sometimes get dyslexic, somebody else was talking to him.
Oh,
Yo.
that's Buddhist monks that you hear over at Earl's. They're from Los Angeles. They're visiting his friend.
Could be. I'm telling you, sure you didn't take any drugs today?
I've never engaged in any kind of mind-altering substance, at least in liquid form.
All right, very good. And who else we got? East, anybody? Oh, wow, I couldn't hear that, whoever it was. I believe that's Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie. You got a lot of noise on that signal tonight, so I'm right, man. There's a problem. That's Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Yo, Jeff, you copy?
He's on the handheld, Paul. Not too far from me, but I can hear him just fine.
Yeah, okay, on the handheld. That's why I'm surprised I can hear him at all.
Ain't that the truth? Under these conditions, most especially.
Yeah, you've got a little noise on your signal right there. It's just like a buzz, that's going, and it varies from person to person, but there's something on almost every signal.
Well, there's something going on that's aggravating. You know what? They're trying to take this portion of the 2 meter band and they're trying to run us off.
So you're saying ARRL's jamming us?
That's right.
Dumber things could happen, I guess.
It's a conspiracy.
Well, we're going to have to ask Kevin because he knows all about them.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, very good. Jeff, appreciate you checking in on the handheld. That was Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie. I did copy most of your call when you came in, but it was really rough due to the conditions. I think otherwise I could hear you a little better. Who else we got in there from the east?
N4, NYA. Good evening.
So you're coming in worse. You usually have a very nice, clear, solid signal. And while the audio is fine tonight, it's the same kind of thing. There's a noise in there. Dale?
Oh, now I can't imagine what it is. I haven't changed anything on the radio. Just must be lousy conditions.
No, I don't think it's you at all. I don't think it's any of us. It's just really crappy conditions. Some nights it's beautiful. And like tonight, it might be the worst that we've encountered. Maybe they're just preparing us for Saturday's 500th anniversary to have a really bad condition.
Yeah, well, could be. I mean, even the UNF bands, they're just they're kind of lousy too. Yeah, I just can't. I know they're out there, but I can't hear them.
I got you. Well, some of that, as you know, I don't know, which antenna do you use on HF?
I've got a G5RD.
Yeah, those are, depending upon the conditions, those can work great. Which bands are you principally operating?
I'm normally listening around on 40 meters and 80 meters. Because I'm on mainly in the afternoons and evenings.
Right. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen that original article by the guy who designed that antenna, the G5RV. G5RV? Yeah. And he says it's principally, it's great on 20 meters and it's kind of not as great on the other bands.
I had pretty good success on 40 meters. In fact, my analyzer showed it to be 40, about right in the middle of 40 meter band. It was resonant. So that's kind of why I hang out there.
Oh, no, listen. Let's see, whenever somebody gives an opinion, we're going to have to start doing it. Whenever I give an opinion, whenever anybody else gives an opinion on the air, they need to say that, what I just said is contingent upon height above terrain, what type of terrain, in what form, in what direction is it pointed, how much power, what's the feed line, and your results may vary.
That's quite true. There's a lot of variables in the mix there. But anyway, having a pretty good day today. Taking care of Mom a little bit. She's been sick, so she lives in Goodlettsville, so been back and forth out there to check on her. But other than that, it's all been good.
Well, your crutches are gone?
The crutches they're still out, but I haven't touched them in about 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good. But I mean, it feels all right, though?
I'd like it to feel better. I'm doing physical therapy, but I'd really like it to feel better. But I mean, the doctor told me, he says, it's going to be 6 months before you stop thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. I've been there, done that, and yes, physical therapy, but sometimes worse than whatever the original cause was.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he didn't do a replacement. He said I was too young for the replacement. I thought, wow, I'm actually too young for something. I haven't heard that in a long, long time.
Oh, yeah. I got the opposite, though, when I went to the VA. I think I told you. The doctor said, you're doing really great for 69 years old.
Yeah, well, they told me if this doesn't work, then it will be replacement time. But assuming I have the lifespan, may have to have it done again later in life.
Oh, I got it. Due to that deterioration, you mean?
Yeah, that's true. And they generally last about 15 years before they start to deteriorate. Then you have to replace them again. So I don't know. I was a little disappointed he didn't replace it because it's still bone on bone, and that's not going away.
Oh no, I have similar issues with arthritis in my hips, and it's not fun.
All right, well, that's enough of talking about what ails us. So carry on.
It's enough of the medical net. All right, very good. That was Dale. He's over near Lebanon. It's November 4, November Yankee Alpha. Really great signal. In fact, that signal cleared up quite a bit during that talk, so you were doing fine. And it's not your station, I'm sure of that. All right, who else east? Please come in. Or north. North, please come in.
Kilo Echo 4, Romeo Victor, Quebec.
Hey, you sound pretty good in spite of conditions. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great, as long as I'm not outside in the sun.
I'm right there with you. My Yankee comes out of me.
Yeah, I know it. I was talking to Earl down south down there near Cedars of Lebanon, down in Noreen, and he earlier today, and I asked him if he had done any. So we were talking about the heat, and have you done any service in the Middle East? He says, yeah, I did an hour and a half in Iraq. And I went, okay, never mind. You know what hot is then.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I was talking to somebody in California earlier today, and they were saying, well, it's 90 degrees here. I said, yeah, but that's dry heat. Put some humidity to it.
Oh, I was, and where were they in California? Do you remember?
They were down around San Diego.
Okay, well, listen, my experience with California, and it's not much. I was shocked how nice and dry the air was out there.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas before. It's been like 114 and didn't feel this bad.
No, that's pretty impressive what was out there this afternoon at 95 or 96, depending upon where you were. And that was in the shade, mind you, in the shade.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've already taken my first trip to the ground wearing all my fire gear and stuff in this mess.
Oh, yeah, that's not it's a good way to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah, you sweat it out quick, that's for sure.
Yeah, very good. Brent, you sound good tonight. It was Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Victor Quebec. Complaining we're all complaining about the heat. It'll get better. Yeah, that's what I used to say when I lived in Florida. You know what I like about summer? Fall is next. No, I really don't mind it that much. It's just kind of sloppy. I sweat so much. That's why. Look like hell very quickly, especially if I'm working. All right, who else north? Please come down.
We were still on east.
Well, you can go east or north.
I thought you said east.
Well, you can go east. You don't want to go east?
No, I was trying to check in. Apparently, Brent walked on me.
Well, go ahead.
KG4 my day. Yeah, I must have been out of the room or something. I don't know what happened there. But, yeah, Paul, I just checking in with them, saying, man, I got all kinds of conspiracies. You want to know one?
Well, is it yet another one? Is it a new one?
Yeah, there's 675 earthquakes in the last 24 hours in California.
Oh man, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
That's a fact. I'm reading, sitting here right here, looking at that earthquake stuff online. It's pretty wild. They're going to fall off the earth or blow up one. And you know, Paul, to be serious about this, all those earthquakes and everything, if you notice, if you look at any one of those where they are, every one of them's been on or around earth or volcanoes. On or around volcanoes. So, you know, either one of the volcanoes is going to blow up or California's going to fall off the face of the earth.
Oh, again, you know, one of the things that occurred to me, and I don't really know anything about it other than you got to remember that all of those nuclear underground tests were in Nevada. And Nevada's right next to where California has the earthquakes today, or yesterday and the day before yesterday. So I can't help but think that we prompted some of these things 50 years ago. We started the problem.
Yeah, that and fracking it, geostorm, or what do you call that, getting the heat from the ground, you know, drilling into the ground so far and whatnot, pumping all them chemicals back into the ground to get the oil out, you know, they can't help either. So you've got all kinds of messed up situations. But yeah, enough of that, man. Shoot, I'm been keeping an eye on that, man. I'm waiting for California to fall off so I can say, I told you so, I told you so.
They don't call it shaker in the old country for nothing.
I'm telling you, Richard and Kevin, that's real estate prices are going to go really low in California as it gets any worse.
Hell, they make you pay more taxes than anything just to build the place back up.
Yeah, well, no, they're going to soak you and me for that.
Right. All right, I think I go to side. You take care. Thank you for your music.
Yeah, very good. That was Kevin, Kilo Golf 4, Mike, India Zulu. He's over in just west of downtown Lebanon. Who else? Anybody else east or north? Please come in.
Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis, did you get anything done today with that antenna?
Oh, today was the most frustrating day, but finally at the end of about half hour ago, I figured it all out.
I don't know. I heard some of that when you were talking about antenna lengths and how you were managing the SWR and did it work out for you?
Well, what happened was when I bought these balance, I told Bob at Balance Design that I wanted one balance to run a 160-meter loop and feed it with ladder line. And then I told him that I wanted to have a couple other balance for top holes fed with coax. So he sent me 3 balance. Well, I was using this one that he gave me for the 160-meter loop on an 80-meter dipole, and it's the wrong balance.
So I got it figured out now. I used an old barrel I had sitting here, believe it or not. And my antenna now tunes up on 80, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, but not 6. It actually works on 6 without tuning. I noticed that too. So yeah, it works good now.
That's great. Which one was the wrong one on that 160 wire?
Okay, so he sold me a 4-to-1 current balance. It's rated at 5 kilowatts from a 160 meter loop, and it's got ladder line in, coax out, and you mount it close to your radio. But it doesn't work on a dipole. I don't know why. That I have to find out. But as soon as I put a 1-to-1 balance on it, it's even just an old MFJ cheapo. It started working right away.
Now that was at the antenna or at the transceiver?
Wait, what? Say that again?
Where did you put the balun that works? It was out there. It was at the transceiver.
Oh yeah, I ran a ladder line into my shack, actually into my barn, and then you're supposed to use over 100 feet, around 110 feet of ladder line to be able to get tuned up on all bands. So I only needed about 60, so I had 70 left over, 60 left over. So I just kind of strung it around in the rafters of my barn and ran it right into my shack, and there's a 2-foot coax going from the 1-to-1 down to my radio.
Ah, okay, I got you. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, you didn't have well, you know, some radios and some tuners have that built right into them, you know. Well, that's true. You're right. You're going from the tuner to the radio with coax, and then you go out to, you know, from the balun out with the twin lead, not the twin lead, but the ladder line. Yeah, that sounds like it worked like a plan, though. Everything was fine.
Yeah, it works good now. Hey, I got another question. Because I bought a whole ham station from a guy about a year ago, and there's about 10 coax jumpers, like from a foot to 2 feet, but all of them have the writing rubbed off, and he used a lot of 75 ohm coax. Does anybody know any way to test these jumpers? I guess I could just see if the SWR goes up when I use them. I mean, that would be one way.
Yeah, I think I would test it that way. I really would, because I don't think you're going to see any dramatic changes in 1 or 2 feet. I really don't. Alan can probably tell you more, but I'd guess no. I know I've done it. That's why I know. I used unmarked cable. I still don't know what it is.
I think.
Say again?
I said Aaron must be gone because I think he would have chimed in.
Oh, I know he would.
His head is full.
I'm not going to ask you what of.
Oh man, he's good. He's sharp. I like him. He talks over my head all the time, but he's really great. But anyway, I'm happy now. I have probably tingers on my legs from crawling around the field with this dipole. I better go take a shower. So W9BOQ. Wow, it's almost 9 o'clock. W9BOQ, back to net.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Dennis. That was Dennis, Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec. He put up a 160 loop and got the balance connected today, and now he's happy as a lark. All right, he's going to have all states worked probably by Sunday. Who else? Anybody else north? Please come down. Anybody else north of Mount Juliet? Please come in. All right, we're going for late check-ins. Please come in.
Hello, Mike 4, November Yankee, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Have you been in there long?
Quite a while.
Oh, you must have missed the south. But anyway, have you heard kind of the noise on the frequencies?
Haven't heard any.
Aha. Okay. Must be me. I think the noise is hovering over me. So how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. If the weather never calmed down and settle off, we'd be okay.
Well, the only thing could be worse is if it gets to 96 like it did today, and then pouring rain, and then sun come out, and we'd even be more humid and uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I'm happy for every day I'm still seeing it do it.
Oh, believe me, yes. Oh, no question about that. You won't hear me I hope you don't take it as complaints. It's just funny how I promised myself, and bear with me if you've heard this before, but after I went through a terrible, terrible storm when I was in the Navy, and I was like, oh, I can't believe how annoying this is, and it went on for 4 or 5 days, and it's the biggest pain in the butt to be at sea in terrible weather where you can barely get dressed or eat or go to the bathroom or work or do anything. And I was so upset one day, boss. I was so, I don't know if the right word is depressed. I was just so aggravated by this problem. Plus, I was living with close contact with other men, and so it was a pain in the butt. But I said, I promised myself that. I said, man, oh man, what kind of thinking is that to be complaining? I said, when I get out of the Navy, I'm never, ever, ever going to complain about the weather because it'll be on the ground, not at sea.
Doesn't do you any good to complain when it's all over with. You need to be looking the other direction, you know.
Oh, I agree. No, it's no. I rather enjoy. I enjoy almost all weather. I don't like it a lot when it gets really, really hot. Just due to it's 6'2" and 275 pounds. It's not comfortable for me. But I live with it. I'll work in it. I've done it. And, you're right, though. I'm thankful for every day I get up.
Well, I think most of us are when you get right down to it.
Well, we tend to take it for granted unless we have serious problems, with aches, pains, or whatever. I've been there, done that, and and I'm doing that now with some things. Not terrible, but you know what I'm saying. We do have to be thankful. You're right. Anyway, good to have you in there, Bill. Anything else for the net?
No, that'll be it. We'll see if we can make it Saturday.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love to see you. It was Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee, and that's Bill in Murfreesboro. Who else? Anybody else late checking? Don't make me move on to the lurkers, lollygaggers, and sandbaggers. Oh, now you made me do it. We're looking for this Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey falling into the lurkers, lollygaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, preppers, and my memory's going bad, and end time survivalists. All right, we got another. It occurred to me today, I was in the Boy Scouts for most of my youth, from wherever that starts, 9, 10, 11, up till 18 years old. And it occurred to me that when we talk about preppers, that's what Boy Scouts do their entire life. When you're a Boy Scout, you're a prepper because you're preparing for the worst. You're being prepared and being prepared for the worst, surviving in the woods, I guess. Anyway, any other late check-ins, please come in. All right, procrastinators got to come in, I'll say after 10 o'clock or tomorrow. Have a good one. This 22 people showed up tonight, which is kind of nice, and it's all nice. We're in the 20s almost. I can't remember the last time we weren't in the 20s. I keep a record, but like last night was 23, and the one before that was, I think, 32 ultimately. And so it's always good. I'm just glad to see people interested. Appreciate everybody who showed up on that. Don't forget, let's do a brief. Courtney's on Saturday at 8 a.m. You can be there a little earlier or a little later. We'll be there. We're usually there till 10 or 10:30. Tomorrow's net is on the Wilson County on 147, 105 with a 156.7 and plus offset. And of course, we got Ham Quest coming up a week from Saturday. Don't forget to nail that on your calendar. In Huntsville on August 17th and Cedars of Lebanon on August 24th. I hope to be at all of those, actually, but 73, everybody. We're finishing it at 9:03 in the afternoon. 73, have a great night. Appreciate everybody being
W4 AWE.
Hey, John, you showed up really late, didn't you?
I just walked in and turned the radio on, so I guess this is a late check-in.
Well, it's the late pre-procrastinator check-in.
Yeah, lollygaggers.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Steve up there near Bowling Green doing his net. He uses that term too.
Really? Tell me about his net. When and where is it?
Tuesday nights, 7:30, 146. It's 15 up from us, 4:30.
Okay, 15 up. I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, Tuesday night, 7:30. He had like 20 or 22 check-ins last night.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's what I told him. I said, I really believe that, and I've said this before in many forums, but there's actually there's an unrecognized demand in the marketplace, in the ham marketplace, for Simplex radio in every market, not just here, not just in Bowling Green, it's everywhere.
Yeah, there's actually an interesting podcast that I stumbled across. I think it's an old one that was on QSO today. I'll send you a link to it where it's a guy heavily involved in California EMS and firefighting, and he spends quite a bit of time early in the podcast stressing how they use Simplex.
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised as I thought about it over time that it seems that the national ARES, whoever it is in charge of ARES and RACES, that they ought to strongly urge that all ARES nets be done on Simplex.
Well, I mean, he points out sort of an obvious with when they have a fire in California, one of the first things that goes are those mountaintop mounted repeaters.
Oh, I bet that's true. Boy, oh boy. You're right, though. It's even if it never happens, that's the beauty of this. Even if it never happens to us where we need it, we've had a great deal of fun improving our stations and just getting to know other people really well.
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned they do weekly nets where they make a point of doing everything in Simplex. Once a month, they'll check a repeater. And the people that get involved in that group, and they're really getting involved, taking paramedic courses and things like that. But they have minimum equipment standards where they have gain antennas with mag mounts on their cars to make sure the Simplex will work.
Yeah, and I agree. It's well, as you know, we're not trying to be affiliated with ARES or RACES or any of those groups that would be involved, but I believe strongly that with all the station improvements we've seen from this group, that we're doing it a great service to the community in the event of a problem.
Yeah, for me, like from a hobby standpoint, it's just a really fun yardstick because it's always pushing you to see how you can optimize whatever equipment you have.
Yep, I agree. I agree. I learned over time how stupid and silly I was not to have bought better stuff at the front end.
Yeah, I mean, repeaters are really fun, and I occasionally will, leave radios, tens of them, but they do have a tendency to make you lazy.
Yeah, I know. And now that when I get on a repeater, it's annoying to hear the repeater ID on top of me.
Yeah, especially the ones that have a really long, slow morse, and you're just having to wait it out.
Well, you know what I mean. It's listening to the squelch tails and listening to the Roger beeps and listening to I think, man, Simplex is so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad for all of it. It's just, I find the whole Simplex thing is very much, it's much more like operating HF. You're having to always, I mean, in essence, in Simplex and VHF, you're working DX all the time.
Yeah, that's right. You are. And hopefully, sometimes we do a little bit of DX, whatever that qualifies as. I've been out as far as, I don't know how far. Probably on a good day, I was down there south of Huntsville, whatever that distance was, 100 and 200 miles maybe, 150 miles.
Well, it's just sort of everything is scalable, with the limitations of the VHF, UHF frequencies. It's sort of DX on a smaller scale.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. And it's I find it more exciting for certain. Yeah, it's more exciting than working a repeater because I can work every repeater within, Cookville's 85 miles away and I can hit that here on 5 watts.
Yeah, it would just be more fun if more people had SSB capability because that really does open things up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me get rolling here. We did a great net. I'm glad you showed up, even if you did show up late. But we're glad to have you in there. Hope you can make it one of these Saturdays.
I certainly will at one of them, and I'll definitely try to make. I'm going to try to make both Lebanon and Huntsville. So hope to see you definitely in Lebanon, and talk to you later. Have a great evening. Yeah,
I will be there. We have a table. The Simplex group has a table there, so we'll be there. I shall be there. K4PEW closing the net finally after listening to me all this time. Have a great night, guys. K4 and girls. K4PEW.
W4AWE clear.
Oh, by the way, that was John. Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's in Bellevue. Great signal. Very good. End of the net. Bye, everybody.